Good afternoon, everyone. Today is February 27, 2019. I'm Kevin Molis, the Malden Police Chief, and I'm here to give you a brief presentation about some of the activities that your police department has been engaged in over the past week or so. Right from the beginning, I want to make you aware of an incident that happened earlier today at 11:50 this morning. Malden officers responded to the area of 18 Mountain Avenue near the courthouse on a report of shots fired. Upon arrival, we were able to determine that an unknown suspect at this time had walked past a parked motor vehicle with one occupant and fired a round into the vehicle. No one was struck, and the suspect fled the area prior to our arrival. Detectives are working the case as we speak. This is something that happened in the area of the courthouse. I want to make you aware that the victim of this incident, the intended person sitting in the vehicle, is not from the area, and we believe that their presence in the area was directly related to the activities at the courthouse. So we will keep you updated on that, and it's a case that we're working on as we speak. Over the past week, your police department has been extremely active and busy. As I've often told you, statistically, some of the numbers in this past week, the Malden police have responded to 891 police-related events. We took 13 people into custody, and one of the noteworthy arrests occurred at a local motel in which 3 people were arrested for the crimes of kidnapping and robbery and other related crimes. I want to particularly commend the work of Sergeant Steve Fitzpatrick, Officer Dave Conley, Officer Dave Young, and Detective Michelet Montina, who did the follow-up. Now, in this incident, the victim was brought into the area, lured into the area with some intention of some type of transaction possibly going to happen, and he was subject to the crime of kidnapping and robbery. As I often do, I point out crimes that happen around the city with some component of it that would allow us maybe to prevent the crime from happening. We did have 3 examples of motor vehicle theft, and in one of the incidents, the keys to the motor vehicle were left in an unlocked locker at a local place where people go to work out. The key was taken, the vehicle was stolen, and that was something that obviously could have been prevented by locking the locker or keeping the keys with you while you're working out at the facility you're in. In 2 of the other examples of motor vehicle theft, the keys were left inside the vehicle, and in one example, the vehicle was left unattended while running. I want to point something out because, as oftentimes is the case, one crime can lead to other crimes. Now, in one of these incidents where a vehicle was left unattended with keys in it, the suspect took the vehicle and subsequently was engaged in a high-speed pursuit in New Hampshire and crashed his vehicle. So that's something that could have been prevented if the vehicle was locked and the keys were not left in it. As we often see, the crime of breaking into motor vehicles is something that frequently occurs, and again, as I looked at the past week, I saw a number of incidents that happened on Gleason Street, Colburn Street, Clyde Street, in which vehicles were unlocked and items were taken from the vehicle and subsequently used in other crimes, sometimes using a bank card or something of that nature. I will point out that on Harding Avenue, a motor vehicle alarm, car alarm, prevented a theft because the person looked out and saw somebody trying the door. The department, along with other EMS, responded to 2 overdoses, non-fatal, thankfully. This is something that we continue to be on the front lines with Narcan and working in partnerships with organizations like Malden Overcoming Addiction to deal with this epidemic and this crisis that's affected so many lives. We do encourage people to ask us questions, and one of the questions that I did receive came from a citizen who asked about facial recognition and whether we use it. Facial recognition, as you know, is a very good technology whereby people can be identified as a result of photographic imagery. It is something that we would have available to us in the event that there was a high-profile serious crime or incident, but generally speaking, what we're relying on is an active use of social media. You have seen recently examples where we have put out video imagery of photographs of suspects in crimes, and we have asked you to help us because you are our partner. And that has worked very successfully. As I often say, The police are the people and the people are the police. So us getting that information out to you through this various means of social media is one of the greatest examples we have. So we're going to continue to get that information out to you as often as we can, and we encourage people when they come across video imagery that relates to a crime to let us know about it. Now that's something that I want to mention. Many times we are able to solve a crime or to learn more about a crime through the video imagery that comes our way. And what we're seeing that many people nowadays have chosen to protect their homes or their property or their business through surveillance cameras. The cost of those things have gone right down. I'm not here to endorse any particular product, but I am here to tell you that more people having video surveillance equipment will allow us to do our job better when it comes to solving crime, and it also does prevent crime from happening. I want to mention something else that, when we talk about these different crimes that occur, generally speaking, for a crime to occur, three things have to be present: the means to commit the crime, the motive to commit the crime, and the opportunity to commit the crime. I think when you hear the descriptions of some of these crimes, one of the things that we can all influence is the opportunity to commit that crime. Whether it be to lock your vehicle, to secure your belongings, to be aware of where you're going at night, be generally a good citizen. All those things will serve to reduce the opportunity to commit crime, and they will make our job better to do and the community safer. So I encourage you to continue to follow us on the various social media outlets that we have available. I thank the detectives, Mike Powell, Steve Mulcahy, for working diligently and actively in getting that information out to you in a way that I'm getting a tremendous amount of positive feedback from. I want to point out an event that's taking place tomorrow night from this room that I'm talking to you now from, the community room. This room was built for you, for the community. So tomorrow night, I'm happy to say that there will be a teen dating violence awareness event, a sponsored event with the Malden Police partnering up with Respond, a nonprofit domestic violence support organization that works closely with us. And in the community room here tomorrow night at 6:30, they will be hosting an event to bring awareness to this problem and also to provide information about support services that are available. So I want to thank you again for your time. I look forward to talking to you again in the near future, maybe next week. I ask you to have a safe week. In many respects, as I talk to you now, I envision that I'm at roll call. When I attend roll call, I stand with your officers, and we go over information in the community, and we talk about ways that they can be safe and the way that the community can become safe. So right now, I envision that everyone that can hear my voice is part of the Malden Police team, part of the Malden Police community team. So it's like being at roll call. I'm going to ask you to continue to support us and help us the way you always have and you always will, because we really rely on that. The police are the public and the public are the police. I want to thank you again for your time today. I wore my traditional winter jacket because we are getting some snow tonight. I am told that it will be a moderate amount. It shouldn't present any problems as far as public safety, but I ask you to drive safely, and I look forward to talking to you again in the near future, and I appreciate your time, your commitment, and your interest, and I want you to know that we're here for you always. Thank you, and God bless.